Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Katrina Ness, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings, Vanessa Collins, and Katrina Ness.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday night. For those of you that have tuned in to our big show for the first day today, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. But tonight we are joined by the lovely Mark, my peer from Northwood University, Vanessa Collins, and Ted Ings.
They're all peers from Northwood University tonight,
Yes.
Katrina.
I just recently found out that Mark did an online program at Northwood because I was like, oh, I go to school in the middle of Michigan. And he's like, where? I was like, Midland. He was like, Northwood. Yeah, that's where Vanessa and I are.
Yeah. Vanessa, welcome. Mark Mickens, welcome. You were a big start today on the mobile service panel as usual.
Thanks for having me, Ted. The panel was great. Some terrific people on there that we collaborate with all the time, and I've learned so much from those guys. It's just fantastic to be involved with them.
So you started this mobile panel with Ed Roberts a couple of years ago. I remember that. And we had trouble getting some traction on that thing in the beginning, Mark, but that's like the hit of the whole show right now, what you do on there.
Yeah, I mean, mobile's grown. We laugh about it all the time in the industry is, who the mobile veterans are. I mean, if you've been in the business 5 years, you're a grizzly veteran in mobile service. But Ed and I have been at it for quite a while. And, it's always been a good collaboration, but it's really neat, cool, whatever you want to say, to be part of something that's new and growing and being part of the innovation that and what's taking place in the marketplace right now.
All right. So I look forward to finding out all about Mark Mickens tonight, having these ladies find out about Mark, big hero of fixed ops, dealer in my town here in New Jersey. And before I do, Mark, we had that first day of the show today, and you're all over the show. And Vanessa, okay, we still got 3 big days to go. Tell us how we can get the tickets, because people still don't know, Vanessa, how to get tickets for their show.
Yeah, so today was the first day of our 4-day all virtual and online event, our Knights of the Roundtable event. And if you have not already gotten your tickets, don't worry, because it is not too late. You can still get those complimentary tickets right now at fixedopsroundtable.com. We still have 3 full days left of this event, so you don't want to miss it.
People still texting tonight, Mark, saying, how do I get tickets for this thing? What do I do? It's amazing in this day and age that
I don't think you're publicizing it enough.
No, not at all.
Never see it.
So we're going to learn a lot about Mark tonight. But Mark, before we do, you're also the high school football coach in my town. Tell us a little bit about that, because when you did the first Fixed Ops Roundtable, where you won a Best Practice Award, you came in as the coach and you had everybody stand up and do some exercises. Talk to us about that, because it's a lot of similarities.
I played at Butler High School. Ted and I live in a town. My Ford dealership was in a town called Butler, New Jersey. It's in the northeast part of the state. Beautiful country. We love it here. I grew up at Butler and in Butler, and I played at Butler. Went to the high school here, and went on to play some football at Western New England. Short-lived. Came back, and my high school football coach hired me to be an assistant coach 42 years ago, and I'm still here. And it's been quite a journey over those years, to the point now where proudly say my son is on our coaching staff, and probably keeping me in coaching, because I probably should have retired already, but having the opportunity to not only coach with my son, but to coach our entire coaching staff right now is consists of former players of our program. So I'm pretty proud of that. There's nobody in the room that didn't play at this high school, and it really goes a long way. And really, really proud of everything that we've done here. It's been a very successful program over those years, and we've won multiple state championships. And more importantly for all of that is that we've turned out some spectacular young men, which is more of what I'm proud of. and that's part of our mission of what we do here. Athletics, academics, all the things that we do. I'm also proud of the fact that my wife and I both graduated here. And, when you're the Ford dealer in town, Ford is very big on community, being part of your community, doing good things for your community. And my wife and I decided to make the school system in our town the charity that we commit everything to, our time and our money and resources. And we got a bunch of our friends and former people that graduated from here to do the same. And proud to say I'm the president of the Education Foundation here also. And in a small little town like this, we have 5 schools in the district. And, we've pumped close to $500,000 into the school district and private money over the last 6 years. So, we built full robotics labs in all 5 schools. And, our next project is why I'm here at the school tonight is to, we're building a broadcast center with our own TV station, our own YouTube channel. And that's our next thing that we're going to be doing. So that actually only so they can live stream my football games on Friday night, but that'll be part of it. But very proud graduate of this school. My teachers and my coaches were a big part of my life, still are. I really attribute a lot, my wife and I both do, to how some of the success that we had is directly attributed to this place. And it's very special to me.
And you're known throughout the industry, not only as the Ford dealer, very successful one. Okay. Mark, the dealership that the Ford dealer that we're talking about, your dealership, has all these contracts coming in from New York, the fire department of New York, the police department. They get all their work done here at this Ford dealership in this little town in northern New Jersey. And that didn't happen by accident, Mark. I know you went out and you got the business, and I constantly see these trucks coming in.
Yeah, we took a shot at a contract, believe it or not. New York changed their guidelines for bidding on city contracts in 2001, and in 2002 I took a shot at a parts contract. Was probably definitely way over my head when I did it, but we took a shot and we won the contract. At the time, it was a 3-year contract for about $9 million. It kind of put us on the map, and my store, and even currently. We've won that contract 7 times since then, and have added, all the fleet work that they still do now. I sold my portion of the dealership back in 2017, and my folks are all still there. My business partner is still there. My parts and service director is still there, and it's really proud to see that they carried everything on. That contract. Put us in and kept us in the top 25 wholesalers. Actually, we're top 10 wholesaler in the country for Ford Motor Company, and they still are. So real proud of that. Real proud of what all the folks that still work there and I worked with for all those years are still doing it.
Well, I'm going to ask your Northwood alumni, or your Northwood students, not yet alumni, to ask you some questions about mobile service, because you really championed mobile service here in North Jersey when it was not fashionable, was not sexy, Mark. You started off, you actually began equipping vehicles on your own, making mistakes and, building the new frontier while Ed Roberts was doing it down in Florida. I don't think you gentlemen knew each other quite yet, or maybe you knew of each other. But you started doing it at a Mercedes dealership. You mentioned the Lithia, Mercedes-Benz premise, and you built it into what it is today. And now you're going all over the country, and you're showing Mercedes-Benz dealers how to get into the mobile business as part of ES3. So, ladies, take it away. And I want to learn a little about Mark tonight, too.
Yeah, of course. So on the talk of football, how would you relate coaching high school football to people and leading them in the car business?
It's the same thing. It really is. I have to say over the years that I didn't run my dealership like I would run my football team. It's a team. It's always been all in. You have a staff. You formulate a program with your staff. You do what you believe. You find out what you don't know. You keep it fresh. You add new plays, right? You add new processes. It's really the same. I've always been able to relate both things together, and it's really worked out very, very well for my management style, right? And mostly so when you're a high school football coach, you have a coaching staff. We have 10 coaches, and everybody has a say, right? And we all take a piece of, preparing for a game, preparing for practice, and trying to be everybody being part of the outcome, positive and negative. We lose games, and you have to examine why you lose games so you can improve. Same thing in business, right? You're going to have a bad month. You're going to make some mistakes, and same thing. You have to examine what you're doing all the time. Sometimes people, they develop processes, put them in place, and never revisit them, and part of, being a Six Sigma person that I am, Six Sigma relates to high school football, and it relates to running an automotive business also, right? You're going to, define what you're trying to do. You're going to measure it, right? You're going to inspect it, and you're going to try to change it if you need to, or you're going to try to make it better, every day that you're doing it. And the two things definitely collide, right? And there's no doubt about it. So it was very easy for me to go to work in the morning, go to practice in the afternoon, and then go back to the store at night, because it was all the same to me, same mindset.
That's awesome. And there's so much hard work that goes into both. So.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
That is amazing. And props to you for going from work to the school for practice, and sounds so busy. That's awesome.
I think what I learned from combining the two experiences is really to trust in your program.
Yeah.
Have people participate through not being afraid to delegate things, responsibilities to people.
Yes.
And that really opens up the door to you being a positive mentor, which was always my goal, right? You have to have experience, and experience is to be a mentor. And the more that you learn, and the more that you can give back to the generation that's following you, there's no difference of running a football team program or a car dealership. It's the same if you treat it the same.
Yeah. All right. So our next question pivots a little, but what has been the progress so far in the mobile service program since it was started last year?
All right. So I work for ES3, which is a consulting company out of Auburn Hills, Michigan, for you ladies. And
That's what I mean.
Yep. And we've been in business 21 years, and it's family owned, and it's a great agency. We have terrific people. We have some of the most creative people that I've ever been around in my career, and it's great to work with them every day. We have writers and producers and consultants, and we just have a real solid team. And we represent Mercedes-Benz in a program called Service Your Way, which is a combination of Service Your Way for clients to have better choice and flexibility on how they get their car serviced, and more so how the dealer can offer that service and give the client some options when they have the time to actually get the workload done through their shop, right? So it's a combination program for both the dealer to improve and do things differently, and also for the client to have more choices to have their car serviced. And one of the elements that we had to really develop was the mobile service piece as an extra offering for the client to get their car serviced, right? So we're talking about, pickup and delivery being an option, quick service or express service being an option, and certainly mobile service being an option, and how we build all three of those into a more convenient way to offer a client to get their car serviced. And we do that, again, on an outbound call and contact basis to offer those time slots and days to a client so it's more convenient, right? So they have the choice. And and it's worked very well. We wrote the program from scratch, especially the mobile service program. I wrote the mobile service program with 3 other gentlemen that had as much experience as you can have in the mobile service business. They were on other projects for OEMs, other mobile service projects, and we wrote and are executing a pretty robust program. The difference, I think, with our program is it starts with the business plan. And when I started in mobile service, I had a pen and a paper and a bunch of guys and gals around me at this conference table, and we sketched out how we were going to run mobile service at Mercedes-Benz at Paramus. And that's before we had a van. So we built this whole deal together, and then we ordered our first van, and we were all excited, and we were going to roll our program out. And we did, and we had our van for 2 weeks and realized that we ordered and built the wrong van for what we were trying to do.
Oh, no.
To improve our business. So, we realized that, and that's part of growing, and that was part of trying to develop this business. And so our biggest problem at the time was tires and wheels. Ted will tell you in New Jersey, potholes are not your friend. And
they know they're in Michigan. They
right,
know.
when you
We're
drive
bad over here.
when you drive a Mercedes-Benz with low-profile tires, we had no less than 15 to 20 cars a day in our store in Paramus that needed some type of tire or wheel work. So we went to work, got busy, and we designed our own and built our own tire and wheel truck that went out and serviced our clients in a different way. So that was our first, our big invention, I guess is the way of putting it, was to really be in the tire and wheel business and do it remotely. And we actually tied in retail tire sales to that eventually, and created a website and a catalog, and they're still doing that there. So that's really how we got started. And we defensively tried to build a program that helped us because our shop was at capacity. So in order to address the fact that our shop was at capacity, I had nowhere to go but out, and that's what we did.
So your friend in Florida, in St. Augustine, Ed Roberts,
Yes.
tandem at the same time was building this mobile service operation down at Bozard Ford Lincoln, and he was coming on the show, and he was showing us, it was first a couple, 2, 3 vehicles, then 4, then 5, and then he's growing this thing. So I said, Mark, you're doing the same thing. Why don't we put a panel together? And at the time, it was just you and Ed talking about mobile service, and that expanded now over the last few years. And today on the show, this was the mobile service panel. Yourself, Ed Roberts, me, Jim Sabino from All American, and Matt Bateman from My Karma. And now this is, without a doubt, the most popular part of our Mondays. Mobile Monday, we even call it on the show.
All great, collaborators. Jim's lives up here by us, Ted.
Yeah.
And Jim is really up and coming. He's a smart guy. They have a great couple stores, and he's just doing wonderful with it. In our program, so what we did with the program Mercedes-Benz is we took a little bit of a different path to help the dealers develop their business, and we actually start with a business plan. We actually work with the dealers on everything that would go into a mobile service operation. And we have, calculators and spreadsheets and things that we do with them. And we created an install deck from start to finish, from ordering the vehicle, creating your staff like we did, and, creating your routes and your trip values. And we have that all in place before the dealer gets their van. So part of what we do and then we have a sustainment piece, which is a dealer champion. So we train someone inside each dealer to be the dealer champion of these programs. And we work really closely with the BDCs to tie it all together. So now the scheduling BDCs and mobile service, you think, wow, how are you doing that all at one time? It all comes together. It all ties together. So now my BDC agent on an outbound call can offer an express service, a pickup and delivery, or a mobile service, and do it at multiple days, multiple times, and let the client choose, right? So that's what the heart of our program is. So we're working with BDC agents as well as installing mobile service and working with mobile advisors and technicians, because it all comes in together, it all ties together. Our early adopters have done very well. We had four pilot stores started just over a year ago. So not only have they grown to, all 4 stores have ordered their second vehicle. So they've all been very successful with it. What we've also measured with these stores is additional shop throughput and capacity usage. And all 4 stores are north of 12% in their growth from 2022 to 2023. So we're really equating that the fact that we're out doing, 80 to 100 to 120 mobile services a month with these stores, and that's adding to their capacity, right? So we start drawing a line through mobile service being successful, not only out in the field, but also in the shop by creating more capacity.
Did you know this was going to be such a success when you started it out?
I had a really good feeling that we would be successful because of who our partners are. The dealers that we work with, we have over 50 dealers in the program now in Mercedes-Benz, but the 4 dealers that we piloted with, plus our team at MBUSA in Atlanta, they're anxious, they're eager, they want to learn, they give us the resources, and they promote the programs, and they promote the workshops, and we do a lot of good work. If you have a good partner, I was pretty confident that it was going to grow because we had a great partner to work with, as we do every day. The team at MBUSA in Atlanta is fantastic. They want their dealers to be successful, and we drive each other back and forth to make sure that we're doing what's right. One of my tasks is to keep the program. We've written a series of best practice playbooks and how-tos, and it's digital onlines for express service, for service capacity, for scheduling, for mobile service, for pickup and delivery. And my biggest job is to keep that fresh and renew it as things change. So my team consists of 5 former fixed operations directors, purposely done. It's a great team. We collaborate every Friday. We compare notes. We improve programs, and we keep this thing fresh and moving. And it's gone very well.
Tony wants that playbook.
I don't know, Tony. But we've been in over 150 Mercedes-Benz stores in the last year, and the biggest success that we've had is taking our experiences in those stores and being able to craft a program that's flexible. We do not have a cookie cutter plan for any of the stores that we work with. We have a flexible plan that says we're going to create an action plan with you based on your store, your employees, the size of your store, the resources that you have. And we craft individual plans. We're in 50 stores now in the program so far, and we have 50 different plans. There's no one plan alike. So we're very proud of the fact that we've uniquely gone in as a group and said, listen, we're going to work with what you have, and we're going to make that better and more efficient. And that we take goals of 2 or 3 or 4% across our network as a goal set, as opposed to saying that we're going to come in and prove you 10%, because that's not going to happen, right? So we don't promise that. We want small bites, some wins, right? Winning's important. Being able to show the people in the dealership that you're working with that this works and things are changing and things are getting better. So small wins, right? So I always tell my guys, hit some singles, and then the thing will grow the way it's growing. And it's been fantastic. But the key to it is to work with the dealer and what they have. The biggest thing that we run into, and everybody's got the same problem, is everybody's short on technicians. Everybody. the best Mercedes-Benz dealer in the country is short on technicians. We can't fix that. What we can fix is the efficiencies of the people and the staff and the technicians that you do have, right? And how we efficiently work your schedule into these programs to offer clients better ways to get their car serviced. And that's really what it's all about. But it's got to be your clients, your store, and your plant, right? And that's what we try to work on.
Yeah. So besides the lack of technicians in the Mercedes-Benz dealerships and around the whole entire industry, what are some other challenges that Mercedes-Benz dealers are having to figure out and fix stops in 2024?
I think, like every other manufacturer right now, Mercedes-Benz has a high rate of recall. The recalls, we talk about recalls all the time in the industry. Our studies now that we're doing, there's 30 million cars across the network of the OEMs in this country. There's 30 million cars that need a recall performed. 1.2 million just got announced in January. Again, some of that is in our network. And I think the biggest thing we've had to overcome with our program, working with BDCs and schedules and convenience, is how we can decouple recalls from just everyday service, right? How do we keep the service A or B, which is a 10 or 20,000 mile service on a Mercedes-Benz, not having that car come in at the same time that it needs 3 recalls performed? That's been the biggest challenge that we have, to decouple those events, right? Because if you want a quick service where you can wait for it, express is express, waiting's waiting. When you add 3 recalls on top of a simple service, it's no longer a simple service, right? So we've had to work really hard with our dealers to try to overcome on how do we decouple those events. Can we send a mobile truck out to do programming so that you can come in for your A service and it's still an A service, right? So we've had to really, work really hard with our dealers, work really hard with our OE in Mercedes-Benz on how to create that, and we have, because we know who needs a recall, we know who needs a service, and we can decouple that naturally and outbound call that with our BDC to control those events, and that's what we try to do.
Yeah,
that is the biggest thing that I see. That and really, I think every dealer can improve, because there's no college for it, is in scheduling, and that's a big cornerstone of our program. Sarah Vantine, who is a very good friend of mine, we collaborate a lot outside of the Fixed Op Roundtable. Sarah's brilliant. Her company is great. We share ideas a lot, and I've learned a lot from Sarah about working with BDCs in the proper way of trying to build the schedule. I don't think very many stores, there's no college for it. You can't go to NADA school to learn scheduling, right? It's one of the biggest holes in our business. Companies like My Karma and their willingness to be flexible, to change their platform, to work with dealers to make scheduling easier, simpler, and make it easier and simpler for the people that are making the appointments and the clients to make an appointment. Those are all innovative things that we have to keep pushing in the right direction, because everything comes back to scheduling. Everything, mobile service, anything that nobody wakes up in the morning thinking their check engine light's going to come on, right? Most of the time, the customers that we dealt with, it doesn't matter if it's a Mercedes-Benz or a Ford, if you have to go out in the morning and either go to work or drop people off or go to daycare or any of those things where you're relying on a vehicle and you go out in the morning and it doesn't start or it has a check engine light, that's a big event, right? And it requires a lot of attention, sometimes a lot of attention that we don't give it in our industry. And I think that's the biggest challenge that we have to do is, now with connected car services and all the things that we have, leads, and we know when a client needs service, that we have to be more active and proactive in trying to get it done for them.
Mark, in our closing moments, you also have something in common with Sarah Vantine. Okay,
Yes, I do.
She's an equestrian, and you have a love of horses. In fact, you've made that into a more than a pastime. But tell us about it. And I saw this fella posted on a Facebook over the weekend. Who's this?
That's a horse called, her name is First Rain.
Okay.
She's our first New Jersey bred. And she's up on a farm in New Jersey, and I was there
Okay. Yeah.
yesterday. As a matter of fact, that's me feeding her carrots because she loves carrots. And she's off for the winter, but she runs at Monmouth Racetrack in the spring and summer. And she had a really nice 3-year-old season, and we're looking forward to having her race in a 4-year-old season. And so my brothers and I belong to a partnership called Victory Racing. And that's a good name. But so my uncle was a successful horse trainer and owner, and my brothers and I have been around the barn. I guess I don't know, 8 or 9, 10 years old, for many years. And my uncle passed away, unfortunately. And my brothers and I always stayed in the business. And in 2018, we actually really got back in the business of on the thoroughbred side, and we've had some really good success. I'd like to think we pick them right when we buy them. We've had some failures too, of course. We've had some. 2023 was we had the injury bug. We had some of these beautiful animals down with injuries and veterinarians and surgeries and things of that nature. But they're magnificent animals, and they're great to be around. And it's such a big part of my life now. It's peaceful, and it's a great business, and I'm in it with my brothers and a bunch of other great people that love the animals as much as I do. And Sarah and I have a real connection because one of the things that our group does adamantly is to repurpose our horses after they're done racing. And we work really, really hard at it. And Sarah has a repurposed thoroughbred racehorse.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I was able to recently help her track down his racing career and his pedigree. And it was fantastic for Sarah to learn that her horse was actually a winning racehorse at one time.
Yeah.
And
I saw the pictures. Yeah.
and Bo was her pride and joy. And it was really great for us to connect on that. But I think the connection that Sarah and I have with equestrian horses and the business is really that I'm really adamant about where our horses end up when they're done racing. And we owe that to them. And we make sure that we do it.
I love that. Horses are truly beautiful creatures. And I haven't gone horseback riding. I did a bunch of camps and stuff, and I used to do it a lot when I was younger. But like one of my goals in life is I want to have like a farm with old retired race horses and just bareback them and through the hills and the forests and whatnot.
I think I might be able to help you with some stock when you need it someday. Maybe you can get one of ours. Yeah, but we're associated with a lot of second chance farms and repurposed farms, and it's we just repurposed Tap the Gavel, who was my favorite horse that we ever bought, and he was somebody that I used to make a trek down to Monmouth when he was there pretty much every weekend just to see him, and he was the best temperamented horse that you ever wanted to be around, and I had high hopes for him, but he just didn't want to be a racehorse, which happens, right? There's a lot of mental anguish that goes into being a racehorse, believe it or not. Yeah. And he Tap the Gavel likes to be out in the field, running around like just a regular horse. And we saw that pretty much when we rested him. And we sold him to Second Chance Farms before the holidays, and they found him a home. And it just so happens that one of my business partners has a nice farm up in central Massachusetts, and she bought him, and she's gonna keep him up there. So it really was a really heartfelt day when she bought him, because I know he's going to a good home. So we do a lot of things like that. And the other side of horse racing is the fun and the excitement and the thrill of someday being in the winner's circle. And we've been able to do that a few times, and it's been really good. And you got about a 1% chance in horse racing of your horse ever winning. That's the odds. There's about 25,000 thoroughbred racehorses racing on the circuit around the country. in any given year. And, it's hard to win, but we've won enough to keep me going back to try to do it again. So,
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I gotta ask you just as a follow-up based on what you just said. I've always wondered this. Does the horse know on race day with all the people and the other horses? Does the horse understand what's on the line? Because I think I know the answer to that question.
100%. 100%. Complete demeanor change, right? I was at the barn yesterday. They know that we're going to open the shed row door and they're going to go and they're going to be out in the field for 12 hours running around just being a horse. They know when it's race day. They don't when they're little. When you first take them out when they're 2 years old and we take them to their first race and they have to go to what's called paddock school. Paddock is where you bring the horse into the paddock and you saddle them and then we do riders up where the jockey gets on before they go out onto the track. When they're 2 years old and it's the first time, they really don't know. So we kind of school them to do that. But if you have a veteran racehorse, they know it's race day for sure. They get up on their toes. They act a lot different. They know for sure.
That's awesome.
Mark, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All my pleasure. Such a great thing that you do for everybody in the industry, Ted. Vanessa, Katrina, I wish you all the best. I think that, a path in what you're doing, especially in the automotive sector. Vanessa, I know that's not your major, but we need good young people in our business, and maybe you'll find your way there. But Katrina, good luck with you. I think your opportunities are limitless. We need good people in the industry, and keep learning, ask questions. Read
Will
books.
do.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're excited for you. Excited for Northwood University.
And a lot to come with Northwood. So Mark Mickens, thank you so much on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Vanessa Collins, thank you so much. I got a feeling, Mark, she's going to come over to the automotive side, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm on my way.
We'll get you.
I think she's
Thank
coming
you so
there.
much for everybody. Thanks for the roundtable and all the partners and everybody that's involved in this. It's spectacular. I'm so proud to be involved with all of this.
Another big day tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, everybody. We'll see you at fixedopsroundtable.com. See you there.
Take care.